it all. Is it cool if I go sleep on the floor? 'Cause I don't think I can take it anymore. When to the left and Joe gets to the right, here I am stuck in the middle with you. When you started off with nothing, found that you were still making hand. When they all keep calling at you, come back and say,
In the end, who pays the interest to the Fed? The taxpayer. Sounds like a pretty good gig if you can keep it printing money out of thin air and charging people interest for the trouble. What our biggest worry should be is the increase in debt. When Congress spends more money than they take in, the difference has to come from somewhere, and that's where the Federal Reserve comes in and prints money, thus increasing our debt to them. Currently, we are paying $400 billion a year in interest on the money they create. Our government has made a point of upping the debt limit to $13 trillion, so when we carelessly spend even more, we can pay more like $600 billion a year in interest. I'm gonna say audit, you say the Fed. Audit! The Fed! 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 Why was the Federal Reserve created? It was created to protect us from inflation and to keep the market from serious ups and downs. So they tell us. Well, I ask you, how is that working out?
stop stealing our future!
Hi, is anybody out there? I have one question. Is this our country?
Yes!
I say we can take it back. Take it back. USA! 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 Woo!
My concern about this is basically, as a taxpayer, I would like to know where my taxes are going. So if someone is using my taxes, I'd like to just have some transparency. So that's what this bill, HR 1207, that was put before us, is all about, and I hope that everybody supports it. I would also like to make sure, and it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, there's really no, or a Libertarian, there's no party line when it comes to understanding what happens to our money, and I just would like a little transparency in that.
We need to audit the Federal Reserve and find out what they've been doing with all the money that we give them, because see, everything we pay in income tax goes directly to the Federal Reserve because we owe them debt on the money, on our money. So that the power to create currency should have never been given to a private banking corporation. It should have remained in the hands of the government. And we need to take that power back to we the people if we're going to save our nation.
They're not even government. Like the Obama deception says, and I'm going to quote, there's Federal Express, you know what I mean? It's not real. This is just a fucking game.
Well, I'm just here. I woke up and my friend was like, hey, you want to go protest? And I was like, all right, okay, sounds good. I've been aware of all the stuff going on pretty much. You got the internet, TV, everything. So it's basically just interesting to see what's going on and just come to be a part of history, I guess. Every little part's a little part of something that's building up. So at least to have something to be like, hey, I was here. I'm getting information, figuring out what's going on, not just sitting at home.
Come on, can we get a honk or two? Come on.
Well, I started the Tea Party revolution over in Fort Worth. We had the first 2 Tea Parties over there, and I was a big part of them, and now I'm over here I'm part of the group. Let's see. I'm part of so many groups, but the one that's basically talking about auditing the Fed, I think the Fed should be abolished. It's illegal. It's against our Constitution. They should be abolished.
Yeah, what I hope to accomplish here is to bring some attention to what's going on with the Fed and the media and how they're hiding out the banker bailouts and what's really going on. How the people who own this building, the private corporation, are pretty much doing economic terrorism to the American citizens and to countries all around the world. And now we need some new sort of, it seems like a plan for a global currency. That's why they're blowing up the economy, because recession. This thing's been coming for a long time. You can watch economists from 10 years ago talking about how the crash was coming, and so this isn't like this could have been stopped easily. Is very much the big problem of it, and we need to stop the Federal Reserve, or at least audit them so that people know what's going on behind here.
Some of you will remember that Woodrow Wilson, towards the end of his life, said, "I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. Our system of credit is privately concentrated. The growth of the nation, therefore, and all our activities are in the hands of a few men. We have come to be one of the worst ruled, one of the most completely controlled and dominated governments in the civilized world. No longer a government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction and the vote of the majority, but a government by the opinion and the duress of small groups of dominant men."
I'm just frustrated citizen with the large federal government that seems to do whatever it wishes and doesn't care about what we wish. And used to be a Democrat, used to be a Clinton supporter, but now I've learned all of the bad stuff that he did. He was a crook and a scammer, and it's no different than Bush. And it's just, and everybody in the media seems to think that everybody that's out protesting right now is only Republicans, and that's the biggest scam going on the media. It's everybody. I mean, look at all the libertarians we have here. I'm a Democrat. I actually voted for Obama, hoping he was going to change things like he promised. Not happening, but apparently, even though I voted for him, according to Janeane Garofalo, I'm a racist and hate all black people, but yet I voted for him. Where did that 2 and 2 don't add there? So I mean, I'm just here because I'm fed up, and with both parties.
Howdy, how y'all doing today? Having fun? Yeah, who likes the Fed? Oh, okay, I don't like them either. Anyway, it's kind of a neat deal that a private industry prints the money for the federal government. Now you say, now that's kind of weird. Why are you saying that? Well, now we could just have the federal government do it, or we could have private individuals do it, private corporations do it. But now then they've got it. Well, we'll just hire out somebody to do it. But the problem is there's no congressional oversight of them doing it. So these private boys, they can print as much money as they want. Now that sounds like a good deal if that was you. Who would like to print as much money as they want? Let's raise your hand. Yeah! All the money you want. Sounds wonderful. So we need to have congressional oversight. Even before we get freedom here in Texas, y'all need to come up with different ways of doing stuff, different ideas than using their federal dollars. We need to start bartering. Cities, towns, states, they need to start printing their own script. Individuals need to start printing their own script. Figure out ways of doing that are honorable people that you can trade with, that you can actually take a piece of paper or an electronic form of trade, or an actual piece of gold or some oil or corn or something, and trade with people, and trade with honorable people in honorable ways. But the absolute best way of fixing this is getting rid of the federal government completely as far as Texas is concerned. Texas secession is the answer. Thanks much.
So it's important that we all pick up the phones, that we all get on the internet, that we all do whatever we can to say, hey, we need you to support this bill. He's got 93 co-signers right now. 93 is a lot of co-signers. That's about 20% of the House. So that's a lot of co-signers. So we need to get, or actually more than that. So we need to get this thing really flowing and get more people behind it. But the way to do that would be to go to, let's say, ronpaul.com. From there, you're going to see a list of who's behind it, who's not. And those who are not, we need to get on them and get behind it. And those who are, we need to get them a fruit basket.
Absolutely quit supporting them in every way possible, and don't vote for anybody that is in that left-right paradigm of Republican, Democrat, left-right, liberal, conservative, because when it really boils down and you come out here, you find out, as a former liberal, I feel the same way as all these conservatives. But we get played by that system, and the first thing you got to do is stop supporting it.